Hello. So today, just as the video title said, going to be looking at some Ossiarch bone reapers. The kind of whole collection. I'm going to point out some, I guess, top picks for me and some good tactics I think which go well with them. If you want to see more of these, 40k or Age of Sigmar, anything in between, just let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can do that. Now, so Ossiarch Bone Reapers for Age of Sigmar, they stand out quite a bit. As in, they're kind of more of a elite army as opposed to a horde army. Whereas like Skaven or Seraphon, and quite a few armies in Age of Sigmar, they rely on a lot of light infantry. Whereas Ossiarch Bone Reapers, as you'll see, use a lot of heavy infantry or elite models and kind of go well with that. They do have their infantry, but the Mortek Guard are still quite strong and elite for infantry. So, some of my top picks for this army. I've got a tab here open, which so we can have a look at the war scrolls and I can explain some more about them. So top picks for in the army for me are the Immortus Guard and the Necropolis Stalkers, if I got their name right. These models, they're cool models. If I can, so they're very cool models, and they've got some very good rules. They're great, kind of like, I guess you could say heavy infantry, or even they're almost they can operate separately. They would work fine operating separately. So I'm going to go over each of their war scrolls and which ones you might want to go for. First, let's go with the Necropolis Stalkers. So, these guys very good at killing stuff. With their command ability, Hunt and Kill, pretty much means they can reroll, run, and charge rolls and pass through terrain. So it's great to get to like a enemy character, take them out, or even just get out of combat. It's great. Their quadrarch aspects are also very good at because you can choose strength to have in the combat phase, which is very good. Like for blade parry, yeah, you could use that to reroll save rolls if they're going to be taking quite a lot of hits. Movement 6, but movement is quite a bit of an issue in this army. It's a very slow, like inoxable advance army, and their weapons are very good. Now, onto the. Oops, where are they? Yes, the Immortus Guard. I missed them. The Immortus Guard are very much the same, a bit slower movement, but a better save, I think. These guys are very like good guard units as they've got the soul-bound protectors, so they can block wounds allocated to a hero near them. They've got some decent weapons, and their command ability, Crushing Assault, is very good. So after they attack in the combat phase and like maybe kill some enemies, so their enemies are falling back a little bit or a bit further away, they can pile in and then attack with their Nandrite battle shield. So they like kind of smash into the other people with their shield. And if you roll a 6, if the hit roll for a 6 with the Nandrite battle shield, it inflicts 1 mortal wound on the target additional damage. So that it is quite like situational, and you have to be quite lucky. But if that turns out, very strong. That's very good. Now, so those are those two very kind of good, strong units of 3. The Kalavos Death Riders. These models are great, and they bring some much needed movement into the army, because most other things in the army don't have very high movement. These guys have a 12, which is very good. Once again, incredibly cool models. I love all of the models in this army's range. So they bring a lot of movement, can run around, flank, or tie up important units for your opponent's army. They can have Nandrite spears or Nandrite swords. Nandrite swords are better more consistent, but Nandrite spears have a chance to have a higher chance to inflict mortal wounds after you charge, because they can like lower their spears and charge into the opponents. Love these models. Very good on the tabletop, and would recommend them if you needed some more speed in your army. Now, the Mortisan Bone Shaper. This is, once again, a very cool model. And what this model is, it's decent at combat, but it's based on, I guess, strengthening and protecting your nearby units. So, at the, if you get the War Scroll up, sorry. So if you get the thing up, they've got, yes, the ability Bone Shaper. So if you pick a friendly Ossiarch Bone Reapers unit within 6 of this model, you can either heal up to 3 wounds that have been allocated to that unit, or if no wounds have been allocated to the unit, you can return a number of slain models to it that have combined wounds characteristic of 3 or less. So that means you could even bring back, you could bring back 3 Mortek Guard from the dead, heal character, heal some more heavy infantry, and the fact that that's guaranteed is extremely good. Being guaranteed as a guaranteed heal, or I guess revival, is just very good. I would highly recommend this model in any Ossiarch Bone Reapers list you have, just because for support and buffing everything else. Now, I wanted to have a special mention for Vork Mortian. I probably butchered that name, but this model. Now, they're good. Don't get me wrong. They're very good. Something about them, I think just the fact that it's really hard. They can be insanely good, but you have to be quite lucky for that to happen, and quite situational. So it's mainly the model's ability which lets you slay an opponent in a single touch, which is very good. But it's very hard to get. It has a casting value of 8, which is quite difficult to get. It's quite difficult to get on 2 dice. It's not impossible. It's difficult. And then after that, there has to be a enemy model within, I think, 2 inches of this model. Then you have to roll a dice, and on a 5 up, they get killed, which could be great. Like, you could kill the Lord Celestant if you were lucky enough. But it just seems very situational for that to happen, and lucky for that to happen. And its other attacks are decent as well, but I'm not sure. There's just something about it which I don't know. I would definitely rather a more consistent wizard, per se, the more consistent wizard, like the Mortars and Soul Mason, because they're just more consistent, they're good, and yeah, they can just buff nearby units around them. That's mainly the models which I would think standing out. So the Necropolis Stalkers, the Immortus Guard, the Calvos Death Riders, Mortars and Bone Shaper, and Vork Morton, who gets the special mention. All the other models, great, good rules on the battletop. I just these are things which I'd recommend in every list, because they're just very strong and bring in some very much needed stuff to the tabletop. Also, the Mortek Crawler is great just for that added range, because this army lacks quite a lot in ranged things. Like, they don't have a unit of infantry with bows like most other armies do. But the Mortek Crawler, while it is quite expensive, being at $140, and quite expensive in points on the battlefield, is very good. And it's quite accurate for a catapult. So thank you for watching. I very appreciate it. If you liked it, press the like button, no pressure. And consider subscribing if you would like to. Now I can just figure out how to turn this on.